Good morning. Um, if you've seen my recent short, I speak about getting my mother's symptoms. I had no idea that she was sick, but I have a history of no matter how far they are away, if one of my relatives is feeling pain or people that I've grown up around feel pain or are sick, I will pick up their symptoms. So the first thing I should have done when I started getting the sniffles, the symptoms of a cold, was to call around to my relatives to ask if anyone was ill or displaying those symptoms. Being an empath, I pick up very strongly on other people's energy. And it used to make me a little nervous, not exactly scared, because I don't really get scared, but it made me very nervous. One example, one day, I was standing up and I got this horrible pain to run down from my head to my tailbone, and I collapsed. And I couldn't figure out what was going on, because this was before any of my accidents, I was just totally healthy. And soon my mother called me. She said, "You know, your sister's in the hospital." And I let her speak. She said, well, she has, I can't tell you what she has for health reasons and privacy, but the identical same symptoms that's associated with a certain disorder she had had prior to going to the hospital. And I asked my mother what time did she have it, and it was the exact precise time that my sister had collapsed and had to go to the hospital. So things like that happen. I've had friends in certain police departments, not in this county, but Peach County, friends in Peach County, Fort Valley, to help them solve some things. And probably I guess, would be scariest for anybody else is to tell you whether or not I can feel whether or not sometimes whether a person has passed over or not. One particular person he was worried about his son because his son had disappeared for a few days. And so I meditate. I say, "No, your son is fine. He's not passed over. He's not dead. He's not hurt. As a matter of fact, he's with a female." And sure enough, his son came back. He was fine, and he had been with a female. And then one particular time, I don't even want to talk about that case and the things I saw, but I predicted the color of a particular car of two people that had been involved in a murder. And I was right on it. And mind you, I rarely ever leave the house. And another occasion where a young man was deceased. The deceased spirit came to me. And I could see as plain as day that he had been by this woman's house. I knew that she was a Caucasian woman. I knew that he had passed through this museum, and I say he dropped his phone. They went there, they found it. The person said he heard that they had found it. The person I was speaking to, a close friend of mine. And I said, if you hurry, I was telling him, I guess it was, I say, if you hurry, you will find him and he will be alive. And I say, but he's having trouble breathing. And so I can't give too many details, but the person came back to me and said, we found him. We don't think that he died immediately, but it was in a peculiar place. And I was telling him that there was foul play, but it was foul play having to do with certain people in authority. And I just left it at that. But sometimes my visions are very clear. And a lot of people know that I used to participate in put the guns down, where we used to go to different neighborhoods whenever somebody was murdered. We would go to the spot where they had been murdered. And I got to the point where I couldn't do it anymore, because each time I would go to the place where a murder had occurred, I could actually feel what the person that had passed over, I could feel what they felt. I could feel their fear. I could feel if they had experienced pain before passing over, I could feel it. And I had to tell the lady that led the group that I could not do it. And I actually let her know why I could not do it. To this day, she knows why I can't do it. Because I pick up on energy. Energy never dies. So if a person passes over, I still feel their energy. It so it is just something that I've dealt with my whole life. And I kind of keep to myself, because I'm thinking the more I stay away from certain energies, the less I feel, but that it's not the case, because I feel my family members' energy and they live in a whole different state and part of the country. So my empathic abilities, it tires me sometimes. My energy drains. And sometimes I can just have to get away from everybody and everything and just empty my mind. And I'm just now learning how to control it. So it seems quite tiresome, because I always know when a person is lying to me. If they tell me something and that empathic thing, whatever it is, it kicks in. I can't totally explain it myself. I feel that they're telling me, in truth, or I might get a flash of something, of where they were. And I said, okay, this person is not telling me the truth, or telling me, and I'm very, very good at picking up body languages, or certain, I call it an aura from people, when they're being truthful or when they're lying. If I ask a person if they're feeling pain and they lie about it, I know they're lying, because I feel their symptoms. So it's just something I've always dealt with. And this guy actually tried to misuse my gift. He's talking about, well, they got a bounty on such and such, and if I solve this crime, they'll pay me and I'll give you a cut of the money. I don't like people using my gifts for their own greed. Um, I just keep it for personal use. But it's something that I was gifted with. And my grandmother had it, but she prayed for her gift to go away because she was the type of person that could touch a person's hand and see their past, present, and future. And some of the things that she would see, they would scare her. I don't know. There must be something wrong with me because I don't have a fear factor at all. But being an empath, it's not all sugar and cream. I'll talk to you guys later. Colored Roses and Thorns.